back in the kitchen today and I'll be making a corn salad. And this is a Mexican corn salad, also known as elote. And it's kind of a take on Mexican street corn, except you take the corn off the cobs and make this delicious salad. And I got this recipe from the newspaper. Yes, this is an actual newspaper. I still get it delivered every day. And I love the paper. On Wednesdays they have a really great food section and always has at least one recipe I want to try. So let's get started. I'll bring the camera in, show you the ingredients, and we'll get cooking. For the produce, you'll need 4 ears of corn on the cob, green onions, cilantro, garlic, a jalapeno, and 1 or 2 limes. You'll also need mayonnaise, olive oil, some smoked paprika, salt and pepper, and cotija cheese, or if you don't have that or you can't find that in the store, you can substitute feta cheese. First I'll shuck the corn, and there's a really cool way to do this on YouTube if you want to microwave your corn, and it comes right out really beautifully. But anyway, I will just continue to remove the husks. And I'll just take a minute to remove any remaining corn silk. If there's a little bit, that's okay. And normally I would do this over the garbage can. I just didn't want to film over the garbage can. This one doesn't look too great, but I'm going to use it anyway. And now I'll use a knife. Just cut the end off. And then start about halfway. And then just cut the kernels off. And then I would do the same thing on the other end. Just flatten the bottom off. And then cut the other half. And I'll do the same exact thing with my other 3 ears of corn. Okay, I have about a medium-sized skillet. I'll put the heat on to about medium to medium high, and I'll add about 2 tablespoons of oil. And I'll put a link to the original recipe in my description for you. I'll just heat that up for just a minute till it's shimmery. I'll add my corn. And I'll add some salt. And some pepper. And I'll cook that for about 5 or 6 minutes until it starts to get nice and crispy. It's been sauteing about 5 minutes. And it's starting to get a little caramelized, which really brings out the sweetness in the corn. Okay, it looks really nice and lightly brown. I'll turn the heat off, remove it from the burner, and let it sit there while I prepare the rest of the ingredients. Okay, I've got 4 green onions. Just remove these tips. And then I'll just chop these into thin slices. You can see that. And I have a pretty large mixing bowl, and I'll just put those onions right into the mixing bowl. Now I'll chop up 1 clove of garlic. And you can use more garlic if you like. Peel it. Just like to slice it and then do little thin pieces. And then I'll just run my knife through it. It looks pretty good. And again, I'll dump that right into my bowl with my onions. I'll just push the garlic out of the way. I have 1 jalapeno. This is a pretty big one, so probably won't use the whole thing. I think I'll use half of it to start with. And after I taste my salad, I might add more. So I'll just remove the seeds. And I'll slice it up into thin strips and dice. Those seeds have a lot of heat, and that's why I'm just kind of keeping them out of the way. And I'll add those to the bowl. And I have a bunch of cilantro here, and it calls for a handful, so I like a lot of cilantro, so I'll do 2 big handfuls, I guess you could call it. And just give it a chop. And I'll just run the knife through it a little bit. And I'll add that to the bowl. And the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of lime. This is a pretty big lime, so I'll use the whole thing. And I do have another lime over there, and I will, after I taste, I can always add more, just like the jalapeno. So I'm putting that right in the bowl. And that looks like plenty of juice just from this 1 lime. Okay, now I'll add the corn into my bowl. It's cooled off just a little bit. And you can serve this warm or cold. You can see all that nice caramelization there on the bottom. And I'll go ahead and throw that right in there. And I have a 10-ounce package of the cheese, the Cotija cheese. And the recipe calls for 1/3 cup crumbled. So I'm just gonna eyeball it here. Grab some, and it just crumbles right up. And I have smoked paprika. It calls for 1 teaspoon. Put it right in there. And 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And combine. and put into your serving bowl. I'll put that bowl on top of a cutting board because I noticed that it's kind of blending in with the countertop. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. And you'll want to taste it for salt and pepper. It's salty enough, so I'll just add a little bit of black pepper. And I'll give it a taste. So delicious. Very flavorful. There you have it, Mexican street corn salad or elote salad. And I just wanted to mention a couple of things. The jalapeno, I'm really glad I went with half because it really has a nice bite to it. And the cilantro was a little heavy. I love the way it tastes, but you might want to go a little lighter if you're not a huge fan. And the flavors in this salad just all work really well together. So if you make it, try to use all of the ingredients and you'll get a great result. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.